Some people break their hands digging for clams, and some people don't have to do anything. Took a stroll to the shore and picked up a big fish. This is bigger than the roast goose leg in my hand. He thought about hiding in the grass until he got hungry. I just wondered if there were bears around. Aren't you afraid he'll find out and eat it? So it's still nice to have snail and starfish soup on the hour. Look at that leg moving. You can see how fresh these ingredients are. If anyone wants to come over and try it. Let's take a look at Delta first. Joey wants to be able to continue the challenge. He came to the Delta team. I hope we can join it smoothly. They should be the strongest team at the moment. Eric is very curious what happened to Charlie's team. Invite him into the gossip now. Joey needs to make the most of this opportunity. Or try your luck on the other side like Bree did. Let's see how he sells himself. Joey thinks it was Bree's sudden departure, causing Charlie's team to start falling apart. Who would have thought she'd go straight to the other side? To this day, Joey still thinks Bree planted that flare. Julio and Megan couldn't hold it back. Finally, they went into the hospital hand in hand. Pity yourself for having to face the challenge alone. Now we need a little help from Team Delta. You'll get a handsome guy with the spirit of a bull, and will carry the entire team property. I hope you can think about it. I have to say it's very tempting. You know, you can pick it up after Joey's elimination. He couldn't have taken everything to the other side anyway. Either way, Delta's gonna lose, you know. This coast is all its own. Eric didn't want Joey to join. The reason is simple. They have such a hard time making a fire. I wonder if I could do other jobs. Brendan, though, sympathizes with what happened to Joey. But I don't want to split the prize. The team is fully up to the challenge. There's no need to add more variables. We're not going to get in if we keep going like this. Joey can only play the emotional card, talking about how hard it is for his family. Just waiting for this bonus to tide us over. He really didn't want to open his wounds on camera at first. But there was nothing I could do. It can only be a moral kidnapping of Team Delta. Tina was very sympathetic to Joey. No one would ask for help like that unless they had no choice. Someone needs to say no to Joey at this point. If you don't keep talking, you're going to lose heart. Delta team needs a few minutes to talk. Let's see how we can say no later, okay? Joey knew it was a tough decision. He will respect everyone's ideas. Let's start with Team Bravo. Drake is busy cutting wood. Mental state seems good. I just haven't had enough to eat. I'm a little worried about breaking down my body. It's worse than suffering yourself. He doesn't want to see his teammates suffer. Emily thinks Drake's just a big kid. Always so childish and enthusiastic. The only bad thing is, I'm so pretty. Teammates like to call her a big brother. I am afraid to suddenly hear a word, brother. You are so sweet. Then Emily really can't handle it. Men have always been noisy. Some worry that it will affect the challenges ahead. I'm glad I have Bree to talk to. Only now I feel like a woman. Drake's still out there talking to himself. Emily had to interrupt. I hope I can have some quiet time and rest. Ever since Bree joined the team, Emily is talking loudly now. That's why you need a sister to back you up. Bree thought they looked like men in the army. They like to be friends with women. So I kind of miss that feeling. Emily is just too sweet. Not a good thing in a challenge, okay? Easy to be ignored by others. Emily's gonna go get some extra Tinder. Bree felt much more comfortable now than before. Should have gotten here sooner. The camera goes to the Delta team. Although Joey didn't think he had a chance. But he still wanted to fight for it. If that's how you get knocked out, that's just too much to accept. If we go to Alpha Team, there's definitely a better chance. It would be too physical to walk there. I'm afraid I'll faint before I get halfway there. Eric, they sympathize with Joey's experience. But they don't want him on the team. More people, more risk. After a brief exchange, decided to make Brendan the bad guy. Joey was wondering how he was going to get across. Let's hope Bravo accepts him. I heard Eric screaming. He knew it was time to put his heart down. You can't say welcome to the club. Without any surprises, Brendan refused to let Joey in and said everyone wants to win the prize money. They don't want to put the team at risk. So Joey can go back to packing now. And then came here to join the Delta team. I didn't think they worked on the whole show. Joey was thinking about how he was going to get home tomorrow. Now I'm so excited. Brendan says how can he be a bad person? He wouldn't say anything hurtful. That would have to come from Eric. Joseph thought it was too bad for Joey. I can't bear to see him walk away from the challenge. Even though Joey made it to the team, but I still want to prove my worth. Or the emotional card won't work next time. Delta exists to win a championship. At present, it does have such strength. I don't know if there will be any accidents. Joey can't wait to get his stuff packed up. He's got to prove he's worth keeping. And the Alphas had the worst of it. Trey didn't feel like he had time to watch it. Always talking about extra clock in the middle of a job. Like now the sun is blocked out. You don't even know what time it is. Tanya still has faith in the team. As long as we can maintain the current situation and steady access to food. Split the prize money. That's really great. No one wants a bonus more than these two. Just keep going no matter what, okay? Now the main source of food is on the shore. Crabs and clams can recover a little energy. The problem is Tanya's been looking for it. Not a single crab was found. Tanya was in a pretty low mood. I didn't realize crabs were so hard to find. Bonus money solves most of the problems at home. Make sure you have food every day. Trey did everything he could to make this team better. He lived on the streets hungry for days. If not for the help of good people, I'm going to be at the bottom of a bridge. He thinks no matter what he does, he has to have a plan, you know? Otherwise, it's easy to get lost. In order to be able to complete this challenge, we must redouble our efforts. If that's the way to go, I'm never going to make that much money in my life. The challenge continues on day 11. Take advantage of the nice weather today. Delta's planning to explore elsewhere and get back what's on Charlie's team. Only Brendan felt a little tired and didn't go. I've had to rest my leg before. Now it's starting to ache again. The fear of another relapse interferes with the challenge. For Joy, it's great to be on the new team. Don't worry about elimination for now. He thinks Eric has the charisma to be a captain. If I could just get along with him, you feel a little better on the Delta team. There's nothing wrong with following Big Brother. Eric thought the little brother was very sensible. I don't exclude myself like everyone else. I don't have to do this alone. Tina and Joseph looked on. The addition of Joey could ease the tension. Let's hope he keeps Eric calm. Don't do anything stupid again. Joseph thinks it's only temporary. There are bound to be conflicts. Let's hope Joey sees things rationally. Don't let Eric push his luck. They don't want to fight in their ranks. Got to stick together against the other teams. It's just that if you split it 5 ways, it's a little small. It was hard for Tina to accept, but the challenge will last a little longer. There may be fewer of them later. The most important thing is to do the job at hand. Prove your worth. Fish can often be seen in the water. If I can find a hook, they can feed themselves by fishing. Joseph prayed every day, even though no one thinks it's working. But he was sure Block would get a response. So we can all get through this. He said a fish came to his door right after he prayed. The most important thing is that it's alive. Man, if we hadn't let Joey in, they're not going to run into each other there. Find a place to hide now. We'll pack it up and take it home. Eric doesn't think it's from the show. They didn't see the script. Anyway, why don't we have fish stew tonight? Everyone is in a good mood. Eric hasn't been this excited in a long time. I hope things like this happen more often. The camera goes to Team Bravo. Drake is going to build a shovel. It makes it easy to dig and eat clams. It's not that hard to do. It's just kind of time-consuming. Emily thought she might as well go hunting. This shovel isn't a necessity, is it? If you want the team to hold out here, you have to hunt to get the meat, instead of making tools to dig clams. Drake, however, wants a shovel, preferably made of gold. I can't talk you out of it. Emily had to look for food nearby. Mushrooms like this are a good choice. She wants everyone to get their act together, instead of sneaking in there to rest. This is going to be a little awkward for Drew to say. Immediately said brother this golden shovel he would play. I'll get you set up in a minute. Emily thought the brothers were a little casual. It's nothing like having wilderness survival experience. They're wasting their time. There's a bunch of clams in there. For Drew and his crew, it's all about having fun. Delta team made it to Camp Charlie. It just looks so desolate out here. Can't blame Bree for wanting to leave. When you do, you want to run away the first day. They were a little curious as to which clever man had chosen it. Even carrying firewood is exhausting. No wonder Julio and Megan are sick. Joey really doesn't want to remember his old life. Can't even describe it as bad. It's like I'm here to take my own shit. When Eric saw this camp, I wonder if this Joey's gonna make it. How did you mess up the camp so badly? Better pack your stuff and take it away. The cold wind here makes my brain ache. The tide is receding faster than expected. There's nothing marked in the first place. Now it's harder to tell where the fish is. When you're wondering where the fish are, Eric was convinced it was the bay up ahead. Keep looking ahead. Problem is, we can't find it anywhere around here. Is the fish in your mouth about to fly away? Joseph and Tina think it's Eric and Joey. Why isn't there even a marker? Now is not the time for recriminations. Eric didn't want the team to get into trouble. It was eaten by a bird. You didn't forget where the fish was. Do you think they're going to believe that? It's not all rosy on the alpha side. The only food available at the moment is snails and starfish. But Tanya was silenced. Trey said to put salad dressing on it. Eating it raw is also quite good. Tanya said no more. I'm sure I'll eat it. Don't keep saying it's good. If that's what's causing the vomiting. Trey would literally have no teammates. Tanya slowly chewed and swallowed, fighting nausea. There's only 2 guys left on the team. There's a lot of work to be done. It's just too much for the body. We need to keep an eye on this fire. Trey seems okay so far. It's just Tanya's a little emaciated. She was worried she'd drag down the team, causing everyone to go home together. Now I can only put bowls of chicken soup in my mouth. Shut out that annoying cooing for a while. When this challenge is over, I would have invited Trey over. I've only known her for 2 weeks. I feel like a brother and sister from the other half. Take advantage of these challenging days. There is no guarantee of success. Trey wants to come back from a deer hunt, so they can make their lives a little easier. Delta's still looking for the fish. It took almost 2 hours. I found the fish in a corner somewhere. So how could this be eaten by a bird? The fish still smells very fresh. Eric the old cook says there's no problem at all. Wait for the big dinner tonight. Brendan was a little bored waiting. I didn't think it would take them this long to grab a piece of gear. When I was about to say something, Eric took a fish out of his pocket. He wouldn't even think of it. The fish was picked up on the shore. It's like putting a bonus in their mouth. He can't wait to taste it. The camera goes to Team Bravo. Drew's gonna take Drake on a hunting trip. I wish I could do something different. This way, everyone can recharge their bodies. It's up to the bad guy to get everything ready. Squirrels could be heard nearby. You can still find food if you work hard. I was kind of happy to find the poop. But when I turn around, isn't that a bear? Man, you're running around this side of camp. And that's just a baby bear. He's worried Papa and Mama are around. Otherwise, they'll have enough to eat for days. Tears came to Drake's lips. Hunting is out of the question. Can only carry this message back to camp. You have to be more careful when you go out. Emily thought it was a joke at first. That's if you can hunt head bears. At least enough to keep everyone open for a week. I'm worried about being attacked by a bear in the middle of the night. The Delta team is already enjoying the feast. The fish is properly roasted. If you ask me what's that smell, that's the smell of grilled fish. Joey joins the new team with meat and a fire to keep him warm. What team, Charlie? You don't know anything about that. He had a dream last night about getting Eric coffee. Man, Joey can really lick. Look at Eric blushing with joy. Now when something needs to be done, Joey will volunteer. The way he's trying to curry favor with Eric. Joseph was very dismissive of it. Hanging out with Eric, it's not going to work. The key is to rely on their own strength. Tina kind of regretted letting Joey join. This humble look like a little sidekick. Only Eric was there to enjoy it. The challenge continued on day 14. The tide has gone down very much. It's a good chance for them to collect food. Emily and Bree just pick a place. Try digging clams with a shovel. The effect is really very poor. I almost broke my back. Sure enough, the shovel shouldn't have been brought. It's easier for Bree to dig by hand. Emily can't let Drew and his boys mess around anymore. I have to step up and lead the way. Bree thought Emily would be a lot better as leader, at least in the direction of survival strategy. Delta is collecting clams here too, to see a hole and dig in. Joey doesn't know anything, but we have Eric to guide us. I believe I can do it alone soon. Brendan thinks Eric's too much of a faker. What do you have to show for digging clams? I just can't stand them hanging out with each other. The worst part is you can hurt your hand digging for clams. Joey is dragging the team down. He had to go back and clean his wounds first, worried that others would vote them out. Let's hope Eric keeps him safe. Joey put his hand directly into the jar to disinfect it. Man, that's a water can. Wouldn't everyone else be disgusted? Eric was speechless about it, even if Joey fawns on him every day. But you can't be so unreliable. Team Alpha is not digging for clams. Tanya's in a terrible state right now. She's never felt so bad. It must be the pan of food. Went outside and puked. Still not getting any better. Only slightly better when lying down. What could Trey do about it? Just warm her up a little bit with body heat. But in the early hours of the 15th day, Tanya suddenly felt very ill. Tell Trey to get a doctor down here right away. No one expected Tanya to suddenly lose consciousness. I wonder what will happen next. Let's wait and see.